Hey, shalom, shalom. Halayla Tawab, which is good night. Anak Nawahai, Bar Yasha'Allah, Walakim La'atam. Call Shabawai, Baharacha, Wakak Shaw, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shama, Amat, which is truly a with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, to preach to you so called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Israelites, foreigners, Nachamatam, Kayah Malak, Wathasha, Mayam, Korab, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Laim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Chag, Wadash. Wamashana kabarin zukoyim nawo wamalakim shoyishla zukoyim chagad wa wachasa washalom wabarakim lahabachayim shoha gawe shalom. So all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, in the name Yahweh Shai delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. This article on RT reads: U.S. barely ahead of Russia in military strength report. The Global Firepower Index for 2023 is based on a secret formula and open source intelligence. Russia is right behind the U.S. in military strength, with China rapidly catching up. The Global Firepower GFP website said in 2023 rankings report released this week, GFP has been producing the annual report since 2006, ranking 145 countries around the world by potential war-making capability across land, sea, and air fought by conventional means. So pretty much conventional is like everybody got it. It's all the same across the board. This is Joel, chapter 2. And we'll get Salat. This is Joel 3. And verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, because pretty much everybody has the same capability, all right, going into them nukes, all right, but then also going into the conventional warfare. It says potential war-making capability across land, sea, and air fought by conventional means. So pretty much in land, sea, and air, Russia and China are catching up to the U.S. You see everybody that once, was known as to have weaker militaries, they're mounting up and they're getting the button, and they're pretty much stacking up their arsenal, all right, going into their personnel as well. You had one country over in the east that had over 1 million soldiers or troops ready to go to war with the America Babylon the Great. Continuing on, it says, the in-house formula considers manpower, equipment, natural resources, finances, and geography represented by 60 plus individual factors, you see, going into the land, air, and the sea, all right, because they can use each of those manpower, equipment, natural resources in each of those different subsections. It says, to arrive at an index with 0 being the theoretical perfect score, the U.S. leads the world technologically and is advanced in key medical, aerospace, and computer telecom sectors according to GFP, which assigned Washington an index of 0.0712. It also has a certain degree of self-sustainment while displaying commanding numbers in key material, financial, and resource categories. Factor into GFP's calculations with the size of the Pentagon budget over 750 billion, more than triple that of China, the U.S. Navy's carrier fleet, the size of the U.S. Air Force. The GFP claims that the Ukraine conflict has showcased key limitations in Russian military capabilities in terms of preparedness, leadership, training, and supply issues, admitting that it has relied on open source intelligence to estimate Russian combat losses. Even so, the outfit assigned Russia a score of 0.0714, just 0.0002 below the U.S. China came in at third place with the power index of 0.0722, but continues its climb to number 2 spot, owned for some time by regional powerhouse Russia, according to GFP. India was fourth with the score of 0.1025, followed by the UK in fifth place with 0.1435. London's ranking seemed to be influenced in part by the 2 Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers and Royal Navy service. Global power rankings show France behind Japan, Italy ahead of Turkey, Iran ahead of Israel. Poland was supposedly 20th ahead of Germany in 25th place. And all these countries, that's listed, they're pretty much going to, gang up against America, Babylon the Great. Let's get that. This is Obadiah, also Isaiah chapter 1, and we'll get verse 2. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." All right, and being that these different heathen nations are, mounting up and getting their own arsenal, their personnel, resources, and things like that of that nature, pretty much they're in the process of that, Esau, Edom is made small because he's made insignificant because everybody has the same capability, going back to it said that everybody pretty much can fight the same conventional warfare, showing that everybody has pretty much the same power, and also in unconventional warfare, going into them nukes. You see, everybody got the button. You see, so what Esau has to say, he's been made insignificant and small, unimportant in this earth. All right. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" That's pretty much, the mindset of these Edomites in America, Babylon the Great, because for so long they were known as the hammer of the earth, you see, but the Lord is taking away their power structure, you see. Let's go back to that article. It says, Ukraine ranked 15th, up from 16th place in 2022 as a result of its response to the conflict, financial and material backing from the West. It had a score of .2516 as of May 31st, and its armor, artillery, and aircraft numbers were based entirely on estimates. Global firepower's location, funding, and ownership aren't entirely clear, because they didn't have their own stuff. The West, pretty much, the U.S. had to, fund them, and that's why they're still funding them. They're still funding the Ukraine. They didn't have their own numbers because pretty much the U.S. had to fund them. All right, that's why it says it's not entirely clear. It says the outfit does not assume responsibility as to the accuracy, correctness, completeness, reliability, and up-to-dateness of information made available throughout per its own disclaimer. You see, and that's pretty much that coincides, that ties into the U.S. giving them money. That's why they can't really come up with a definite, But let's get another precept and I'll close it out. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 37. It reads, "A sword is upon their chariots and upon their a sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her." All right, and Babylon the Great is known as a melting pot. It says, "And they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed." All right, and we're seeing that process of America, Babylon the Great, become weak. The woman is known as the weaker vessel. It says U.S. barely ahead of Russia in military strength, and America is known as was the hammer of the earth. America is the hammer of the earth. All right, but that power they once had is being taken away from them. All right, which is going into the morality, it's going into the funding, Egyptian against Egyptian, just infighting. All right, because the Lord is dividing America, Babylon the Great, and it's the spirit that at the top of this picture, it says Zabak, you see, because the Lord said he has a sacrifice in Basra, all right, and it's going to be a great slaughter in America, Babylon the Great, all right, and those that's attached to this society is going to be destroyed right along with it, you see. So Adawar Matazah Zabanayapa, Lord's will does a beautiful edification through the spirit. Wa Adawar Matazah Atham Yash Layla Tawab. Those will you have a good night. Shalom, shalom.